Hi YouTube. I got me a box of Koh-I-Noor Magnum Black Star 9mm Graphite Pencils HB grade that we're going to take a look at in this video. Alright, well let's check these out. I got me a box of 12. It's kind of a plain Jane looking box. There's nothing on here. Kind of strange. Maybe I should add something on here. Let's add something on here. Koh-I-Noor. And these are called the Magnum Black Star 9mm Graphite Pencils HB. There, it's official. If you want the barcode, it's right there. You can scan that little puppy. Okay, so they're supposed to be all the same pencil, I imagine. Let me make sure. I'm going to pull out two of them. And yes, okay, so I'll put one back. And I can go ahead and put the rest of this off to the side. And we'll just take a look at this one pencil here. Okay, close up time. Yeah, there you get to look at my dirty fingers again. The Koh-I-Noor Hartmouth Magnum. Look at that. 1821 HB. And check out the end of that. Yeah, kind of cool. It's got this kind of coconut cone end here. You know how they get those coconuts that they take the machete to and they cut off the sides like this, you know, and kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Well, anyway. Focus. All right. It's a black pencil, and it has this gold lettering here, and then it has this, well, I guess it's gold here too, goldish, and there's your barcode there. Scan. All right. And I guess it's made in the Czech Republic. There's a number there. They're all pre-sharpened, and if you're unable to determine with this video, it is a pretty wide, big diameter pencil. 9mm. That's a 9mm semi-hex, because it's rounded hex. You can see it's not the sharp hex, so we call those semi-hex. And it has a very large core, and if my understanding is the core is something around 3.8mm, but look at that, that's a pretty thick core there. Okay, so this little baby, the Magnum Black, I want to see just how dark this puppy really is. So it's time to bring out, that's right, the paper. Okay. I'm going to write with it first, and then we'll go do the old MB grade test and see where it falls in the spectrum of shades using the little grading thing that I've got going here and the High Uni Select Outset here. Okay. So, let's write with this puppy. Time to zoom. All right. So, this is the Koh-I-Noor Magnum Black Star. Well, it's not knocking me out of my shoes, that's for sure. Alright, so it's a 9mm. Okay. It's a 9mm graphite. Doesn't for writing, it's not like the best to write with. Let me just grab me like this Musgrave pencil here, just a regular yellow pencil, and kind of as a reference here. Yeah, see, I mean, you can instantly tell the difference here. Okay, let me zoom in here, folks. Now, I'm going to really zoom in here. Let's just really zoom in here. Okay, now take a look at that. This here is written with the Black Star, the Magnum Black Star pencil. And this here is written with just this 909 Serra's number 2 pencil. This is a kind of an HB pencil, right? Number 2 is a HB pencil, pretty much. HB around there somewhere. And this is an HB. But can you tell the difference? I can. One, this is darker and it's smoother too. See, let me just do this real quick here, right in the camera for you. Okay. Alright. Joy. And now I'll just use my number 2 pencil here. Just the regular yellow number 2. See the difference? These are inexpensive. Now, this cost me 66 cents a pencil through Mr. Art, which was the lowest price I could find. I looked all over the place. It was lower than Amazon and everywhere. It's called Mr. Art. And then, of course, I had to, pay shipping and all that. But I was able to get, these 12. Came out to like $7.92 for the 12 pencils. But you can get 12 of these for less than this. So what is the advantage of having a 9mm pencil, with a thick core? But that's what you get right there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put it through the MB grading at this moment, so we can at least get the official grade. But I can tell you this right now, that's what these reviews are for, just so I could give you an opinion of what I think as a person who does a lot of writing and research with pencils, and who also does graphite pencil drawings. What I think about these pencils when I review them. I don't want to blow smoke up anyone's skirt, so I'm not going to gloss over a pencil and say, oh, I like this pencil, very nice, when really it's kind of disappointing. So far I'm not really thrilled about it, because it doesn't stand out. I was kind of hoping that it would be special. So anyway, let's run it through the MB grading and see what we come up with. Okay, so what I've done here is I've done the usual light shading from all angles until it's fully saturated. And then I also did this pressing down hard onto the paper, which is of course not advised when drawing, and will usually give you substantial amount of glare. As you can see, we have some glare there. Okay, coming off that. And I just wanted to see how that was. Now, I'll tell you before we go over and look at what grade this thing falls under. As I was using this and I was trying to get a sense for how it felt and everything, it feels, you know, like it's a hard graphite, not gritty like, you know, with hard grades you normally have more clay in it, which that allows for less graphite and makes for a harder pencil. But it's not a hard grit. It's just a hard pencil in that it just certainly didn't feel like it was wearing the tip down much at all. It apparently, as you see, I just did this pressing hard, and then I did this first, you know, going like this and then like this and like this and then like this, and then look at the point. So one of the advantages of having this thick core is that the graphite's going to go a lot longer before you have to resharpen it. So that's something to consider. It is a harder point, so you are going to, you know, have to sharpen less often, but it's not hard and gritty, so it's not like a very uncomfortable. There's no problem using it. It just doesn't have that butter feel to it that I like to get, but it's not gritty. So I can't complain about the graphite itself. It seems to be a high-grade graphite for whatever shade it really happens to be, which we'll verify. And so it has very good retention. So we're going to go ahead and mark this here. Let's see. Well, actually, it's the same pencil. I don't really need to write the name down, so I'm not going to. And another thing I want to point out here is because of this thick diameter, you're not going to just be able to use any sharpener to sharpen this pencil. Like, for example, this Koh-I-Noor long point sharpener is not going to accept that pencil. It's just not going to fit. You're going to have to use your sharpeners that have the bigger holes to them. Let's see. I got one right here. I can sharpen in here. And you know, get a point on it. And by the way, that's a different video. Okay, so that's something to consider too, is that you're just not going to be able to use your regular pencil sharpeners. You will have to use one that can accommodate the larger diameter pencils, such as this, the 9x HB, you know, the jumbo pencil and so forth. They take their own pencil sharpeners. Anyway, so let's go right into the MB grading. Okay, we got it in focus here somewhat. Okay, we can quickly see that that it's lighter than the F pencil, even magnified. So if I went to HB, is what I suspect, it's lighter than an HB pencil. So it is definitely harder. It felt harder than an HB. And as you can see here, it's lighter than the HB. So it doesn't really fall under what I would call an HB pencil. Well, if it isn't an HB pencil, then what would it be? Well, I'm going to have to check out the the H pencil, perhaps? Let's see. Okay, so this is the H. How does it compare to the H? We may have a match here. We just might. Let me now do the 2H pencil just to be sure. Okay, I don't think I have to go any further with that because it's clearly going to be darker than the 2H. So we'll just bypass that. So the H would have to be the match here. For we already know that it's lighter than the HB, which would make it lighter than the B, because the B is darker than an HB. So then you go down to an H, and then a 2H, which we can see is a lot lighter. So this pencil that says HB, well, in the MB grading, it's more like an H than an HB. That, to me, is as conclusive as it gets. Well, folks, that's it for the Koh-I-Noor. I don't know how you really would pronounce that, but that's how I pronounce it. Koh-I-Noor Magnum Black Star 9mm Graphite Pencils H. If you like this review, please give me a thumbs up, or 2, or 3. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.